Late last night, an encrypted audio file began circulating through dark web channels and select media inboxes. The voice said to be Captain Ibrahim Traoré. The content, a chilling conversation that could shake Africa's political foundation to its core. The call, reportedly intercepted by a third-party intelligence group operating in West Africa, reveals a side of Burkina Faso's leader the world has never heard. Not the fiery speeches, not the revolutionary declarations, but the quiet, deliberate voice of a man negotiating power behind closed doors. The conversation lasts just over 12 minutes, but its implications could echo for decades. Traoré appears to be speaking to an unidentified foreign official. The languages shift fluidly between French, Mossi, and strategic fragments of coded English. The conversation is clearly layered in secrecy, but certain lines are unmistakable. One segment captures a sentence with terrifying clarity. We cannot trust old friends. We need weapons that don't carry signatures and airspace that answers to no one. Analysts believe he's referring to drones, jamming tech, and unregistered cargo planes, tools used not for defense, but for silent projection of power across borders. Sources close to the leak claim the unknown party on the other end of the call has links to a covert arms network operating between the Balkans, the Gulf, and parts of East Africa. A shadow state, one with no flag, one whose allegiance is paid for in briefcases and buried in code words. Another excerpt. They're watching the ports. We reroute through coastal Guinea. Cash only. No manifests. If authentic, this suggests not only a violation of international arms protocols, but a deliberate attempt to sever ties with traditional allies in favor of a new underground network. The recording grows even more damning. Tell Bamako and Niamey, the skies are ours now. We don't wait for Europe to protect our borders. That line alone hints at something massive, a secret defense pact forming between Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. No signatures, no speeches, just quiet coordination beneath the radar of ECOWAS, the AU, and the Western press. Then comes the name that stops everything. The Russian advisor says the next shipment must avoid Algerian radar. They've detected the last drop. This is the first direct reference to Russian involvement in an audio leak connected to Traoré. And it's more than just diplomatic cooperation. It implies a military relationship that's already in motion. Active. Operational. Experts say this confirms what's been long suspected, that Moscow's influence in the Sahel is no longer political, it's tactical. But there's more. A pause, then a chilling statement. If they sanction us, we go dark. Let them. But we will not be slaves in our own land again. That phrase has already gone viral across TikTok, WhatsApp, and Telegram. For some, it's a liberation mantra. For others, it's a warning of coming war. Burkina Faso's transitional government has yet to issue a response. No confirmation, no denial, just silence. And in this case, silence may say everything. In another part of the call, Traoré allegedly says, the Americans pretend neutrality, but their drones are watching Dory. Tell our allies in Sudan to shift the delivery points. That reference is raising red flags. Sudan, Dory, weapons corridors. What's emerging is a possible supply line stretching from Khartoum through eastern Mali and into northern Burkina Faso. Airstrips hidden in scrubland, lit only when the moon allows. Open source satellite data reveals activity at 3 airstrips in recent weeks. Unusual aircraft patterns, unmarked trucks, temporary structures that vanish in hours. Signs of clandestine logistics at work. One image even shows what appears to be a cargo offload at 2:17 a.m. 4 figures in desert camouflage, no insignia, moving crates by hand. The transponder? Blocked. No flight record. No origin. The next revelation from the recording is geopolitical dynamite. The French are fractured. We move before December. By then, they'll be too distracted and the Americans will be looking east. Analysts believe this refers to 2 simultaneous distractions: France's political crisis at home and the U.S. preparing for tension in the South China Sea. A gap in attention. A perfect moment to realign Africa's balance of power. And it gets darker. One voice, still Traoré's allegedly, says the southern route is clear, but Cotonou's channel has a leak. Plug it, or burn it. Interpreted by intelligence experts as a possible order to silence an informant or sever ties with a compromised partner in Benin. Either way, the language suggests ruthlessness, no more tolerance for loose ends. Then comes the moment that shocked even hardened analysts. We have names, we have photos, they thought we'd never find them, but the desert has eyes. One theory is that Traoré, or whoever is speaking, was referring to embedded informants within West African militaries. Another says it's about foreign agents working under humanitarian or media cover. A former intelligence officer in Ghana told Traoré tapes that if the files mentioned in the call are real, you're looking at the blueprint of a purge, not just in Burkina Faso, but across at least 4 countries. The final minutes of the audio spiral into a cryptic but electrifying crescendo. There is no continent if there is no control, and there is no future if we obey the past. Africa stands alone now. We accept that. We prepare for that. Then, silence. No names. No dates, just digital static and the hollow hum of encrypted interference. Since the leak, diplomatic panic has spread. In Abidjan, foreign embassies have tightened security. In Dakar, the French consulate canceled all public events. And in Washington, State Department officials are reportedly conducting closed-door reviews of satellite surveillance programs over West Africa. One regional ambassador, speaking anonymously, said, "This isn't just a leak, it's a signal. Something's shifting, and we may already be too late to stop it." Online, the reactions are split. Some hail Traoré as a revolutionary, others call him reckless. Hashtags like Africa Stands Alone, Ghost Alliance, and Sahel Shadow Deal have trended globally. Memes, maps, even deepfakes of the call have exploded across platforms, making the truth even harder to pin down. But here's what we do know. The leak is real. The voice is real enough to cause international alarm. And the implications? Existential. Is Africa about to witness the birth of a new bloc? Self-armed, self-aligned, and totally outside the grip of old empires? Or is this a carefully engineered lie designed to frame Traoré, ignite chaos, and justify intervention? Some say it's Russia's counter to NATO in Africa. Others say it's France's last card to push ECOWAS into action before its influence disappears. But one thing is certain, a new chapter is being written, not in press releases, not in parliaments, but in encrypted calls, silent airstrips, and alliances whispered across deserts. As always, the Traoré tapes will bring you every shadow, every code, every echo. So what do you think? Was the audio real? Was this diplomacy or defiance, spycraft or statecraft? Drop your theories in the comments. Like if you feel the chill, subscribe if you want more, because in the game of nations, only one truth survives. Silence is strategy. Until next time, stay sharp, stay skeptical, and stay watching.